Hello Raptors fans, and welcome to Raptors Report. Today we're going to be talking about Scottie Barnes and his explosive, exciting growth as a player, as well as the team's young veterans and the impact they've had on the team. Without any further ado, let's jump right in. We're just over a third into the season, and the Raptors are still hovering around the 500 mark. The team, like many others across the league, has had its share of injuries and illnesses, with major pieces missing considerable amounts of time. Due to the mediocre record, the biggest storyline so far has been the emergent play of rookie Scottie Barnes, who is, depending on who you ask, either the leader in the Rookie of the Year race, or second to Evan Mobley, or even Franz Wagner, but I think that's probably temporary. Let's step back for a second, because I think a lot of people are very invested in Scottie winning the Rookie of the Year. And in my books, he is, but that's besides the point. If you time traveled back to the beginning of the season, or even more dramatically, right after the draft, and told people that Scottie Barnes was going to finish second in Rookie of the Year voting, Raptors fans would A, probably not believe you, or B, fall to their knees and thank basketball Jesus for delivering them such an incredible prospect. So a little bit of perspective would go a long way when thinking about these kinds of things. In my season prospectus, I said that I didn't expect Scottie's first-year stats to be very impressive, and that fans should look at the things that he's doing and how he's doing them in order to get an idea of what type of player he was going to become. Well, chuck all of that nonsense out of the window because Scottie is delivering in terms of statistics and then some. But he's also doing something incredibly impressive and new almost every game. The fact that he's delivering statistically, especially in terms of scoring, is something that is extremely encouraging, as that was projected as his weakness entering the league. Scottie's making Jokic-esque touch passes to shooters on the perimeter, isolating against Kevin Durant in the post, hitting clutch off-the-dribble perimeter threes, and slowly but surely adapting and learning the ins and outs of NBA defense. So in terms of the eye test, Scottie is delivering the goods. The official NBA Twitter account is almost guaranteed to have a viral Scottie Barnes post nearly every game he plays. A Scottie Barnes analysis would not be complete without the statistics, however. Over the past 10 games he's played, Scottie is averaging 17 points, 8 rebounds, 3.6 assists, and over 1 steal and almost 2 blocks per game in 37 minutes. He's doing all of that while shooting over 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and only committing 1.4 turnovers per game. That is insane! Scottie is only 20 years old, and the shooting efficiency, the low turnovers, and the general stat sheet stuffing is something you would expect from a player in their prime, not a young rookie learning on the job. Defense is a little bit more difficult to observe, and Barnes has certainly had his rookie moments, including getting caught flat-footed on drives, getting back cut by players in the corner, etc. But he's been making some big strides in that area, particularly in pick-and-roll coverage, where he's surprising players with his shot blocking ability, as well as his lateral quickness, which he uses to shut down available angles of attack for the ball handler. Raptors fans should be extremely pleased with Scottie's development as a player. Next up, we'll do a quick overview of the Toronto Raptors group of young veterans and their impact thus far this season, and take a look at the stats that show how important they are to winning basketball games. The 3 cornerstones of the franchise outside of Scottie Barnes are Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, and OG Ananobi. This season, Fred VanVleet has deservedly entered the All-Star conversation with his incredibly sharp play as Toronto's lead guard. Pascal Siakam, after shaking off some rust, has re-emerged as a very good all-around player and quieted the chorus of critics who were calling for him to be traded earlier in the season. Last of all, there's OG Ananobi, whose strong two-way game and floor-stretching ability make him an integral piece to the Toronto Raptors' future and present. These 3 players have not gotten a lot of time to play with one another this season, with Siakam missing the first half of the season and OG missing games with a hip pointer up until recently. Their impact is undeniable though, even from the eye test, but I think that taking a look at their advanced statistics should cast some light on how important they are to the Toronto Raptors. The best indicator that a player is making an impact is their on-off stats. First, let's take a look at Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet is second in the NBA in on-off metrics and is a staggering plus 21, meaning that the Raptors are 21 points better per 100 possessions with him on the floor. This is the equivalent of going from a top playoff team when he's on the floor to a bottom dweller when he's off. It speaks not only to his impressive play this season, but also to the Raptors' dearth of quality backup guards. Next, let's look at Pascal Siakam. His on-off stats started off rather poor as he worked his way back from shoulder injury. But his incredible play recently and his ability to find other players and operate in the half-court has no doubt been a key reason why the team is +8 when he's on the floor this season. Next up, let's look at OG. Ananobi, while having the smallest on-off of the three, is still clearly a positive on both ends of the floor. His strength attacking the basket, his defensive intensity, and his ability to stretch the floor are all valuable assets for an NBA team. I think that 2022, health permitting, will be a brand new year for the Toronto Raptors. One thing I'd like to see is these 4 key players get a little help, either via trade or internal development. And that's this week's episode. What do you think of Scotty's chances at winning Rookie of the Year? Would it really bother you if he didn't win it? And what are your thoughts on the young veterans on the squad? Will 2022 be their year to shine? Let me know here in the comments or on Twitter at Raptors Report. If you like the content, please subscribe and leave a like, as that helps the channel grow. And as always, thanks for watching Raptors Report, your source for in-depth Raptors content.